about to get started with Winston. Beautiful Persian cat who was rescued from, they found him at a rescue. He's just absolutely stunning. Anyway, the owner chooses to keep him in a velvet Liger cut, which is the head of a lion and the body of a tiger in a velvet length. And then he keeps his tail natural. So let's go get him. He's just getting his 15 minutes of fell away first before we start. This is cuteness overload. He really is just cuteness overload. Oh, so cute. I can't take it. You're just so cute. He's like, I am. You know it. You know it. Oh, magic bubble cat. That just means he has the perfect temperament, right? That's what I call these kitties with the perfect temperament. Just magic bubbles. Alright, so let's see if we can get this started. Yeah. Let me see. He's like, what are you doing? Nothing. Let me try to get this done. You don't want me to start on that, so I'll leave it, you know. Start with his nails. Alright, so welcome to our live cat grooming, which is interactive. If you subscribe to the channel, you will be able to have your comments read out loud. If you are looking for, you know, questions or comments that you might want to have during the live of this grooming, right? Basically, the whole reason why we're doing this on YouTube is to create a resource and a library where people can go to be able to study, have access to, you know, a day in the life in a cat grooming salon, where they can have access to these videos. They're posted in full once the live is over. The entire grooming is posted and thrown up on YouTube. So, and it's just a nice supplemental learning channel for those looking to learn more about cat grooming, right? So many different cats, so many different temperaments, so many different characters coming in. In the case of a magic bubble cat, there's really not a whole lot of special handling or any kind of therapies or pre-treatments, right? Because they're just living in their own little magic world, and nothing really seems to bother them too much, right? Just how a lot of these cats are bred in some catteries, right? How he ended up in a rescue, I don't know, because he's just glorious, right? It's just absolutely glorious. Both him and the owner won the lottery, right? When they found each other. Alright, let's get the mane done. Do it this way. Waka waka. Just set his mane. He's going to be able to keep his mane and his tail, and then everything else is coming off and being put into the length of velvet, which is why we call it the velvet, right? So velvet is the length, Liger is the style. Capiche? Capiche. Alright. Using my safety clipper, which is my Codis. Oh, I didn't like that. some of this magic spray. This is a magic spray made by Le Pooch. Here, I'll show you this stuff. I just bought it by the gallon. It just creates a path of least resistance for these grooming tools to go through. Helps to detangle certain problem areas. But it is my new standard. Something I use every day now. Kind of missed the boat on that product. I've been a Le Pooch Salon since when I used to be a dog groomer, right? Doing my Japanese bathhouse pet spa for dogs. Using the VIP shampoo and conditioner and fragrance was my house shampoo, right? But I'm not sure when that detangling spray came on the market. Just kind of missed the boat on that. But got a hold of a gallon of it when I went to the Hershey Pet Expo. I'm going to be using that from now on whenever we have to go through like a heavy coat. It just creates a much easier groom. You know, all of the tools just go through the coat much easier, which is beneficial for a cat. They want things to stay comfortable, right? There. All right, now we're going to get him on his bed because we're going to do his tricky bits. Get him on his side. Start with a happy hoodie on his head. That tongue is permanently out. Permanently out. So cute. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna get him on his side. Now this bed is just a $10 pet bed from Petco. But it kind of helps to put the cat in a nice comfortable position while you're doing some of what I call the tricky bits, which would be things like what I'm doing right now, which is putting perfect paws in, or getting the legs done, or getting underneath the arms. Good boy. Another one. Good boy. Good boy. Wait. And what's the number one rule with cat grooming? Don't scare the cat, right? Whatever you do, don't scare the cat. So, no loud noises, no barking dogs, probably no smell of dogs. Good laddie. This live is interactive if you are a subscriber, and subscription is free to this channel. So, FYI, in case you didn't know. Waka. It's part of the add-on of what we call Perfect Paws. It's basically a pedicure for cats. Something you would normally never do on a cat unless the owner asks for it, right? A lot of cats out there who have prized toe tufts, and the last thing you want to do is cut them off, right? Unless the owner is requesting that. And the reason why they're going to request that is for easier, cleaner litter. Going in and out of the litter box, they seem to think that keeping the paws nice and tidy is going to do that. Or they're slipping on the hardwood floors, you know. Or possibly, but it's not usually the number one reason, because it just looks cuter. Cat looks more well groomed and maintained, right? But that's not usually the main reason they're asking for it. Alright, so paws are done, sanitary's fairly done. Just go in there one more time. Good boy. Alright. This is the 7F Wall Competition Series blade. That is my standard velvet cut, but you can use the 4F or the 5F, right? And then we're just going to utilize this bed to position the cat in a better way to get to all of these different angles, right? And it helps keep the cat steady. Wah, wah. Wait. I'm going to try and extend his arm out just a little bit. Waka waka. And still try to keep him comfortable. It's not always that easy, trying to keep a cat comfortable for their grooming, but it is possible. Alright, let's get him on this side, especially when you're working with a magic bubble cat, right? There's not a whole lot that they are upset about. So how's everyone doing out there? Hello. Oh, hi Sandra. If you subscribe to the channel, I'll be able to hear you. It's free. And then we can talk. How you been? Everything okay? Sandra's been a long time cat grooming client of mine for years. Keeping that leg extended is a little tricky. I came up with a way to extend that arm straight out, even though it's only going to be temporary. There's only so much of that a cat can take. It should be enough to get this done. Yeah. Okay. He's almost ready for the bath. Waka waka. I like his back legs being done. Older a cat gets, once that arthritis starts to kick in, it's usually when it starts to get a little bit more uncomfortable for a cat when you're working on their back legs, right? Now you can preempt that by just giving something to your cat for 2 or 3 days before their grooming. Most vets will recommend gabapentin because the number one thing that most vets use that for is pain management, right? So you can use GABA a whole bunch of different ways, but one would be to preempt any uncomfortability if the cat is arthritic for their actual grooming appointment. And do that like 2 or 3 days before the appointment. I'm not sure about the timing of that, it might be longer than that, but I think it's like 2 or 3 days. Waka waka. Yeah, Winston is just glorious. I actually found him in a rescue, believe it or not, rescue shelter. Can you believe that? It's crazy. How on earth did you end up in a rescue shelter, Winston? That's what I want to know. It's the perfect cat. Beautiful. Alright. Last but not least. Wow. Wow. A little bit more on this side and then we're done. Get him in the tub. Alright. Now, cats are usually very sensitive with their left arm. I usually wait to do that until the very end. I think it's because they're all left-handed. This is my personal opinion. So they're a little bit more sensitive with their left arm than any other arm, right? Good boy. Alright, last one. Here we go. Waka waka. I'm going to tuck him into me for a little bit. Stretch that skin out just a little bit and hold it down with my elbow. There. Waka waka. Alright. Just go back over those legs just a little bit. Maybe not appreciate being out of his bed. I don't appreciate that at all. Let me see. Waka waka. You're alright, buddy. Alright. You did it. Good laddie. Let's get all those fuzz bunnies out of his tail. Otherwise, they're just going to meld into his tail and get all matted. Just take that out. It'll start to mat in the bath. Don't take those out. Alright. We did it. Wow. Wow. Good buddy. You did it. You did it. What? Gotcha. Alright, let's go. If you subscribe, I'll be able to hear what you're saying. In theory. I don't know if we have a technical difficulty or not. Yep. Sound is on. Yep, sound is on. Alright. And that way we can it can be interactive for you. Alright, right this way. I'm going to start with a little bit of degreasing off his head and his cheeks. Using the pink pop pal. Degreaser. You're just so cute. You're just so cute. Okay. Get all those problem areas. Try and comb that through. There. Get that working. What? 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 Hello, me. What? 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 Okay. There. Wow. Wow. And wow. Good boy. Alright, so while we're letting that work, we're going to start on the other parts. Wow. Wow. There we go. Some warm wash. Some bubbles. Uh-oh. I have no powder kept in it. No! Really? Alright, well, we'll use this then. Both my ducks need to be recharged. Oh well. No bubbles for you. No bubbles for you, buddy. He's like, what do you mean no bubbles? I'm getting a bubble bath, aren't I? Yeah. I got some bubbles, just not as many as you're used to. How's that? Alright, buddy? He's like, I guess so. I'll get over it. Can't have everything. It's hard to get good health these days, isn't it? Oh, hey, Marie. Now, if all my technical things were working, I would be able to hear what you're saying out loud. But I guess it's not working. You are subscribed to the channel, right? That's how you unlock the ability for me to be able to hear you. I have a speaker here. I can turn it on and see if it connects. Try it. It's not going to. Alright. Well, hopefully those technical difficulties will work themselves out by tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not the tech guy, so I'm at the mercy of when my tech guy can come. There we go. Waka waka. Waka 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 waka. Oh baby. Oh baby. He's like, that feels good. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Speaking of Russian, I was learning how to groom cats. It's like learning how to speak Russian. But if you were to talk computers to me, I can't hear a word you're saying. You might as well be speaking Russian because I have no idea. It's shocking how little I know. Okay. Let's get that back leg going. Good boy. Good boy. You're one little footsie. One little footsie. Alright. Two little footsie. Definitely not the right temperature. I rely on a tea kettle. to make sure that everything I'm using is nice and warm. Talk about giving a cat a reason. If you start using cold products on them in their bath, yeah, that's a pretty typical reason why they would want to start thinking about how to leave, right? So, just a little FYI there. Now, that going. This tail is just absolutely glorious. Gotta get this beads brush going, otherwise it's gonna turn into one big tangled mess. He's like, that feels good. You got here. Alright. Okay, and rinse. Keep that water nice and warm. Because it's not. I wasn't paying attention. No, still cold. Good boy. Good boy. I'm going to use a little bit of that secret sauce. I've got a couple of secret sauces, but the one that I'm talking about right now that's in this bottle is the Thick and Thicker by Persian. It's like a foaming protein treatment. It's a way of conditioning your cat's coat, but without weighing them down with any kind of like a heavy conditioner. It actually makes the fur fluffier. Why hence it's called Thick and Thicker, right? Alright, and rinse. And rinse. Yeah. It doesn't get a whole lot cuter than Winston. Let's see if we can get a better view of him. There. Doesn't get a whole lot cuter. We're always going to wash the cat twice. So for his finishing shampoo, one of my favorites is the Love Pooch Puppy. I just adore that. I adore that. I might add a little bit of the Chuz flour because we're still, you know, doing our best to make sure there's no dander and everything's clean. Even though all his fur is cut off, you'd be amazed at how much oil and dander is down by the skin, right? And then it all kind of surfaces. So, hence why I'm usually going to be using a rubber nibby. That just seems to help get that dander to let go. Alright, so water is finally warm. So let's go in here. Get that going. Wow. Good boy. I'm going to rinse out that pink Paw Paw degreaser. I'm going to start washing his eyes. I'm normally going to use a hypo tearless foaming baby shampoo. Is what I normally use. Right now I'm using the Baby Ganix. This one here. It's not officially something you get from the pet industry, but that seems to be my preferred shampoo of choice for around the face and eyes of the kitty. And then of course you can always just rinse with a little bit of saline afterwards. This stuff, Optifree, is the one that I recommend. Anywho, let's get that going. Waka waka. Here we go. Scrub it up, dub. Good boy. Oh, you're just so good. Oh, you're just so good. Let's get that little rubber nitty. Grab for that little curry brush by Little Pals. It's going to give a nice little head clean and cheek clean. Waka, 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 waka. Good boy. Good boy. Waka, waka. Just follow up with a little rabbit brush to keep the tangles at bay. Use the last of this. Good boy. Are you leaving? He's like, yeah. Not quite. I'm not quite there yet. But almost. Almost, buddy. There. Waka, 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 waka. Hey, Catherine. Only reason why I can see your comment is because it's like literally like 5 inches away from my face right now. The phone. I'm having technical issues, I guess. Normally you can just comment and I can hear it through my speaker, but for whatever reason it's not working. So, alright, ready, steady, here we go. You did it, buddy. He's like, what did I do? You got your bubble bath. You got your initial haircut. He's like, now what? You can get a hair. You can get the dryer box. He's like, oh, yay. I think I like that. Yes, I know you like that. Waka, 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 waka. Ready, steady, here we go. He's not so sure about that. Hold up, let's head this way. He's like, excuse me. Excuse me. That's enough, please. We're done. We're done. Yeah, I think he's probably the cutest client I have, but I don't try to say that too much, but he really is, like, I would say in the top 5. Yeah, I think he's probably at the very top. He is number 1, in my opinion. But, you know, we do have a bunch of characters that come in, and they're all kind of cute in their own way, but Winston definitely takes the cake, for sure. Alright, I think we got it all. Alright. One out. Everything else done. Good boy. You did it. Yes, you did. Oh, you're looking. You're marvelous. Up. Boy. Back leg. Tail. Glorious tail. There's breeders who would dream about being able to produce a tail like that. Alright, you did it. Make sure. Go out. And that. Alright. You did it. Alright, ready? Ready, steady, here we go. Mwah. 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 There you go. You're cute. He's so cute. This is his natural temperament, believe it or not. Not everyone can wrap their head around cats being born and bred for a perfect temperament. But if you know, you know. And we're going to put him down off of his legs so he doesn't want to just get up and walk away. Alright, here we go. Ready? He's like, for what? Wah, wah, wah. And on top of all that, he came from a rescue. Me, 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 me. Is that what you want me to call you? Me? Here we go. Here we go. Alright, you can get out of this wet towel. I usually only use the first towel for a minute. Alright. Second one. Wow. Wow. Here we go. Wrap him up. Back on his side. Start. Right. There. Maria, okay. Oh, I know, I forgot something. I was supposed to start using this in the tub before they come out of the mouth. I don't like it when I do it here. That's just that air dry solution. Some of these cats are getting a thorough washing. They're kind of good, so. No walking. There's no walking. No walking. Mobile because he found his legs in there. So try and get him off his legs. Alright. Oh, he's gonna try and find his legs again. Just walk away. Alrighty then. Ready? Okay. Blowing out his head and his mane like a poodle. So it's blowing out nice and straight, no curl or kink. You ready? I'll put you in the dryer box. He loves this. You can understand why. 1, it's a box. 2, it's nice and warm. And 3, it has that sound. It just kind of lulls the cat. There we go. There you go. Good boy. Whee! Alright. I'm going to let him sit there for a little bit. He's the last cat for today. We just got to do his final finishings and then he's all set. So what he got done was called the Velvet Liger cut. Velvet is the length, Liger is the pattern. With his tail natural. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. And that's my cat. Right there. You see him? That's Shuji. Shuji is Japanese for boss, managing director. I used to have 3 staff members. A British Shorthair, a white Persian. Well, 4. A British Shorthair, a white Persian, my Himalayan over there, and then I used to have a 4-pound little Yorkie who was part cat. You wouldn't even know she was here in the cat salon. She got so used to working in a cat salon that I think she forgot how to bark, right? Anywho, we'll give him about 5 minutes in there, and then we will do his final finishings and send him on his merry way home. So this is what I do when cat's in the carrier. There's a couple of things I do. One, I just take a regular pee pad to line the bottom. You always want to check the bottom of the cat carrier because sometimes the cat might pee en route, right? So I just want to just double check that. And then just put a fresh liner down with some Fellaway. That is a pheromone designed to make the cat feel safe, right? It's the safe pheromone. And that's how every cat client starts. While they're still in their carrier, I don't even bother going up to them or touching them or doing anything with them until they have had 15 minutes of Fellaway. And what I do is I use these lightweight, what do you call them? Baby receiving blankets. I forget what they're called officially. But you get these very thin, lightweight receiving blankets. You know, do that. And while the cat's still in their carrier, they get about 15 minutes of downtime with this. So they're not seeing anything that's going to trigger them. They're sitting next to the music. And about 15 minutes with this seems to be a game changer when it comes to the start of a cat grooming. It's just an absolute game changer. It's part of fear-free techniques and practices when you learn how to provide fear-free grooming for your clients. It's part of this is science-backed. It's proven to be extremely effective, right? Now, I never quite took it seriously until last year, even though I've been trying to work on practicing fear-free techniques since 2017. I don't think I started taking this seriously and incorporating this until a year ago, because I didn't quite believe the science until I saw it for myself, right? going to change out the pillowcase on the bed. So we're probably going to need this for its final finishings on the tricky bits. So let's just get that on. Alright, here we go. Alright, so that's ready to go. Alright, let's take him out. Hold on. If there's any kind of dampness still in his coat, I'll put the do-it-yourself stander on. Oh, we go. Yeah, there's just a little bit, so let's get that going. Try and get rid of that cord so we don't see the cord in front of his face. Yeah. Soft little brush for cats. They make about 8 of these little tools. Every one of them has their own unique individual job, right? Alright, I don't need that anymore until later. Alright, so he's found his legs, so he just wants to walk. Trying to get him to settle. I'll probably just turn that off. Won't give him a reason to want to walk away, right? Sometimes it just eliminates the reason why a cat's reacting, right? Then they're fine. Right? Or is that just too simple? Because cat grooming, of course, is supposed to be complicated and hard and difficult for not only the cat, but for the person trying to groom the cat, right? No, it's actually easy. And if it's not easy, then you're not doing it right? You're not using the right technique, or in some cases, doesn't matter what techniques you know, that cat is a candidate for a pre-treatment, right? So about 1 out of every 4 cat clients who comes here for grooming. It doesn't matter how many techniques I know or how long I've been grooming cats. The only way to groom them at low stress levels is for their owners to pre-treat them with the GABA prior to arriving. And then they have their low stress grooming, right? In Winston's case, he's what I call a magic bubble cat, in that he was born and bred for this. Even though he was found in a shelter, he came from a cattery who was breeding for beautiful temperament, right? Obviously. Right? Wah, wah, wah. save his head for last. You always want to pick something that your cat really likes as the last thing you do. Almost like putting the cherry on top of a banana split sundae, right? You never want to finish something negative. You always want to finish with something positive, right? Alright. Up we go. Now, we're going to need him to just kind of chillax while we work on his legs for a little bit. So let's put that happy hoodie back on. If I have to put the dryer back on, I will. You talking about the happy hoodie? Yeah. Yep. It does so many different things. Some cats, that dryer is very annoying for them, so I put the space heater on instead. But in his case, I think he's just ready to leave, ready to rock and roll, ready to go home to mommy. Waka waka. What? I might need to find a new technique for him, since he's being very evasive at this point. You could do lap grooming. we'll see if the lap grooming's any better for him. If it is, I'll update his file, right? Normally, they do really well with just sitting on that bed, right? But in his case, he just keeps wanting to leave. So, which means I'm not using the right technique for him. Oh, what happened? There. There. All right, sorry. Yeah, if the cat's not happy and they're making it known that they're not happy, that means you're using the wrong technique. You're doing it wrong. That's all that means. So it's up to you to figure out what technique is going to work better for the cat, right? I don't know if it's going to be lap grooming or not, but let's try it. I think it's him anticipating that I'm about to start working on his back legs, and he's gotten to the point where he's a little arthritic and he no longer wants me touching his back legs, because he didn't used to be this way. So you can have a cat who comes in who's a certain way for years, and then all of a sudden they'll start acting up, and 9 times out of 10 it's anything to do with their back legs, right? Because the arthritis has set in. I'm not finding the technique for him. Go back to bed. It's the never ending. Let's find the right technique for Winston, right? Let's try it again. Okay. Get him comfortable. Okay. Can't even get in there. So we're gonna use some scissoring. You did it, buddy. No sudden movements, alright? Alright, so that's done. Okay. Other leg. Alright. Get you on this side. Good boy. Good boy. Alrighty then. There. Try and get him to stand it out just a little bit. Try after you do the rest by scissors. Okay. Those were the forbidden chunkers, by the way. Most all cat groomers in this country are not allowed to use them. But apparently every cat groomer from every other country in the world uses them. Right, so it just depends on what part of the world you're in as to what tools you're allowed to use, right? I think what it comes down to is whether you know how to use them and know how to use them safely, and what is your track record, right? What is your safety track record is, I think, what it comes down to, right? So, yeah. See? about there. Yeah, just about there. Here, sorry. He's gonna outsmart me just about at every single turn at this point. So let's go back to the lab. See if we can make some magic happen with the lab, because he's really outsmarting everything that I'm doing right now. He's anticipating every move I make, and then he's countering with his own move to counter me being able to do what I'm gonna do, right? Okay. Good boy. Lots of sculpting going on when you're doing these specialty cuts, right? So it's important to have the right temperament to do that. If you don't have the right temperament cat to do that, well, there's a couple of ways you could go about being able to still get the style that you want. We actually put on our website, you know, you will not be getting certain haircuts if your cat's temperament doesn't allow for it. But at the same time, you could create temporarily a perfect temperament with the use of GABA, right? So you could do it that way. But you can't just like come into a cat grooming salon and ask for whatever you want, because it's kind of based on whether your cat can handle it or not. And when you do these tiger cuts and liger cuts, yeah, there's sculpting, there's final finishing, there's all kinds of things involved. Something most cats are not going to tolerate, right? If they have any kind of fight or flight issues, right? So, all right, you need it. But in his case, he's a magic bubble cat who's always been the perfect cat until recently, which I think has everything to do with his arthritis setting in, right? That's what I think it is. All right, now, down there, take a look at your mane, and then give you a fluff out. Take that off. Pull that out. Good boy. That's all. Alright, let's take a look. Good boy. No, we're not going for a walkie. Finish your face. Brush out your tail. And then send you on your merry way home. No. Good boy. You can't settle. Ah. Okay. Good boy. Hi, see? Good boy. Here it is. Now we're going to use a different thinning shears. This mane gets really bulky. So we're going to do two things. We're going to shape it, and then we're going to thin it. No. No. He's anticipating every single move I make, and he's countering it. Now we're thinning it. Alright, let's see what it looks like. He's like, I'm fine, I'm perfect. Almost. You did. You did. Push out your tail. Your little spritz. And then that's it. And freedom. Alright, little one. You did. You did it. Okay. Okay, you did it. Wah. Wah. Done. You did it. Alright, let's call your mommy. This is the only way I'm going to be able to see his mane and see what's happening with it. For some cats, they just get really evasive about what you're doing with their mane. And so I was able to see a little bit better. Let me see. It's up here. Vincent, it's up here. Up here. Good boy. Yeah. He's a little stinker. He's like, no. You don't get my mane. You don't get to see it. You don't get to do anything with it. Alright. Done. Waka waka. Let's go call your mommy. Good boy. Alright. There you have it. Did you get stuck? He ate one cookie and forgot he was halfway in. There's some greenies in there. He's gobbling away. Alright. There you have it. One velvet Liger cut with a full tail on one of the cutest cat clients that we have, right? Who happens to be crazy about greenies. Let's make him a little bit better. There he is. Alright, I guess I'll get him some more greenies. Odie should be here any second. Here, I'll show you my cat's favorite treat. Something you may not even be aware is on the market. That is, I don't know how much it weighs, but just to give you an idea of the size of it, that's the carrier, that's the cat, and that's the bag, right? Maybe it's like 3 pounds. You get it on Amazon. It's dried Bermuda tuna flakes. Petco sells something like this, and they call it sushi, cat sushi. But you get maybe a cup of it for 10 bucks. This whole bag, I mean, I paid hardly anything for it. It's on Amazon. My cat's favorite treat. I sprinkle it on everything he eats, right? His dry food, his wet food, his chew. He loves it. All of it. So, anyway, the owner's here. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully we'll be able to fix the technical difficulties. so that we can have an interactive live where I can actually see, not see, but I can actually hear what you're saying, which is more conducive to cat grooming, right? So I'll try and have that fixed by tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. All the best. Bye. Me. Thank you for joining.